The streets of Sao Paulo, Brazil's bustling economic heart, are alive with the sounds of change. Once dominated by the familiar rumble of gasoline engines, these avenues now echo with a new, quieter energy. And in Rio de Janeiro, the city of samba and sun, the transformation is just as striking. The flow of traffic is evolving, and the vehicles themselves are telling a new story. Electric cars from China, BYD, Great Wall Motor, Chery, are now a common sight, gliding silently through traffic, charging at shopping malls, and even outnumbering traditional cars at some intersections. Their presence is impossible to ignore. For decades, Brazil's roads were dominated by American and European brands, icons like Ford, Volkswagen, and Fiat. But that era is fading fast as Chinese automakers rapidly gain ground and reshape the market. The Chinese aren't just selling cars, they're selling a vision, electric, high-tech, and affordable for Brazilian families. Showrooms are filled with curious buyers eager to experience the future of driving. Just a few years ago, electric vehicles were a luxury reserved for the elite, seen only in the wealthiest neighborhoods and driven by a privileged few. Now Chinese brands are targeting the middle class with competitive pricing, advanced features, and financing options that make EVs accessible to more people than ever before. Families are test driving, comparing models, and making the switch. Modern dealerships are popping up everywhere, from city centers to suburban malls, signaling a new era in Brazilian mobility. The message is clear. China is here to stay, and it's changing the rules of the game. The energy is palpable, in car shows packed with the latest Chinese EVs, in business magazines analyzing the market shift, and in daily conversations on the streets. Everyone is talking about the electric revolution. Brazil, with its vast population, sprawling cities, and immense territory, is a strategic prize for global automakers. Whoever wins here, wins big. Now Chinese companies are entering with cutting-edge technology, bold strategies, and a willingness to invest in local manufacturing. They're not just exporting cars, they're building them here, creating jobs and partnerships. The roar of combustion engines is giving way to the quiet confidence of electric motors, with a distinctly Chinese accent. The streets are quieter, the air is cleaner, and the future feels closer than ever. The automotive landscape in Brazil is being rewritten before our eyes, and the world is watching closely. As China arrives in Brazil, a new chapter in mobility begins, one that could shape the future of transportation across Latin America and beyond. Chinese automakers didn't just stumble into Brazil, they seized a golden opportunity, one that was years in the making. As the world's largest car market, China has been looking for new frontiers, and Brazil, with its vast population and growing middle class, was ripe for disruption. The timing couldn't have been better. As legacy giants like Ford and Mercedes-Benz shut down factories and left, they created a power vacuum. These weren't just any factories, they were once the beating heart of Brazil's automotive industry, employing thousands and shaping entire communities. Their exits left behind not only empty plants, but also waves of job losses, economic uncertainty, and a sense of abandonment among local workers and suppliers. The future of Brazil's car industry seemed to hang in the balance. Where Western companies saw risk and shrinking profits, Chinese brands saw untapped potential and a chance to rewrite the rules of the game. BYD and Great Wall Motor moved quickly, acquiring abandoned factories and retrofitting them for EV and hybrid production. They brought in new technology, modern assembly lines, and a vision for a cleaner, electric future. Great Wall took over the old Mercedes-Benz plant. BYD claimed Ford's former complex. These sites, once symbols of Western dominance, were reborn as hubs of Chinese innovation. This wasn't just market entry, it was a strategic takeover of the very infrastructure that had powered Brazil's car industry for decades. The transformation was swift and unmistakable. The Chinese arrived with fresh capital, no legacy baggage, and a hunger to dominate the EV sector. Their approach was bold, collaborative, and laser-focused on growth. Their strategy was simple but effective: invest where others retreated, and build the future atop the West's past. By revitalizing these plants, they breathed new life into local economies and gave hope to thousands of workers. They're not just selling cars, they're inheriting Brazil's automotive legacy, blending Chinese efficiency with Brazilian pride, and reshaping the industry from the inside out. The game has changed, and China is playing to win, turning yesterday's losses into tomorrow's victories and making Brazil a key battleground in the global EV revolution. Brazil is quickly emerging as a dream market for Chinese electric vehicle makers, and it's not by chance. There are three powerful reasons why this South American giant is attracting so much attention from China's auto industry. First, the demand for electric and hybrid vehicles in Brazil is absolutely booming. In 2023 alone, sales more than doubled, signaling a dramatic shift in consumer preferences. More Brazilians than ever are looking for cleaner, more efficient ways to get around, and they're turning to EVs in record numbers. This surge isn't just a blip, it's the start of a long-term trend as environmental awareness and fuel prices push buyers toward electric options. Second, Brazil's relatively open market and historically low import tariffs have made it remarkably easy for Chinese brands to enter. Unlike many other countries, Brazil hasn't put up major barriers, so Chinese automakers have been able to set up shop, import vehicles, and build their presence at lightning speed. This welcoming environment has allowed them to quickly gain a foothold and outpace competitors who face more restrictions elsewhere. While Europe and the US are busy raising trade barriers and tightening regulations, Brazil has taken a different approach. The country has opened its doors to Chinese EVs, giving these brands a unique opportunity to establish themselves and connect with local consumers before Western rivals can catch up. Third, Chinese automakers are offering high-tech, feature-packed cars at prices that everyday Brazilians can actually afford. This is a game-changer in a market where affordability is key. For many families, owning a modern, safe, and connected vehicle was once out of reach. But now Chinese EVs are making it possible. Features like expansive touchscreens, advanced driver assistance systems, and cutting-edge safety technology, once reserved for luxury models, are now standard even on entry-level Chinese EVs. This democratization of technology is transforming what Brazilian consumers expect from a car. For Brazil's price-sensitive and tech-hungry population, this unbeatable combination of value and innovation is simply irresistible. Young buyers in particular are drawn to the connectivity and smart features that Chinese brands deliver. The result is a perfect storm: surging demand, easy market access, and unmatched value. Chinese EVs are now a common sight on Brazilian streets, and their popularity is only growing. Brazil isn't just another export destination for China, it's becoming a strategic pillar in China's global auto ambitions. Partnerships, local manufacturing, and government support are deepening these ties. The Chinese are here not just to sell cars, but to shape the future of mobility in Latin America, starting with Brazil, a market truly ripe for the taking. Price is the Chinese automaker's secret weapon in Brazil. The BYD Dolphin Mini launched at around 115,800 reais, about $23,000, making it one of the most affordable EVs in the country. It undercuts rivals by 30–50%, putting EVs within reach of the middle class. For many, the choice is clear: a gas-powered compact or a feature-packed electric for the same price. Chinese EVs come loaded with tech: rotating touchscreens, multiple airbags, alloy wheels, features that cost extra elsewhere. This has forced legacy brands to slash prices and upgrade their offerings. The result? A price war that benefits Brazilian consumers and accelerates the shift to electric. Chinese brands have reset expectations for what an entry-level car should be. The message: the future of driving is here, and now it's affordable. The market is changing fast. Chinese automakers aren't just exporting cars, they're building a new industrial ecosystem in Brazil. BYD is investing $600 million to transform a former Ford plant into a hub for EVs, buses, and battery materials, promising up to 5,000 jobs. Great Wall Motor is modernizing the old Mercedes-Benz factory, aiming to produce hybrid and electric SUVs and pickups. These aren't just assembly lines, they're centers for innovation, R&D, and local supplier development. Local production helps avoid rising import tariffs and qualifies for government incentives. The Chinese are positioning themselves as partners in Brazil's industrial future, not just foreign competitors. Their investments are forcing traditional automakers to accelerate their own modernization. The goal: create a self-sustaining EV ecosystem, from parts to charging infrastructure. China's commitment is transforming Brazil's auto industry from the ground up. Chinese automakers are winning by adapting to Brazil's unique needs. They're developing hybrid vehicles that run on ethanol, a popular, locally produced biofuel. Great Wall Motor is investing in hybrid flex tech, combining electric motors with ethanol engines for range and practicality. Chinese cars also come loaded with tech: touchscreens, 360-degree cameras, and smartphone integration, appealing to Brazil's young, connected consumers. Over-the-air software updates and local R&D give them an edge over legacy brands. The result: cars that feel modern, connected, and perfectly suited to Brazilian roads. Not everyone is cheering the Chinese EV invasion. Brazil's local auto industry and unions worry about job losses and over-reliance on imported parts. The government responded by raising import tariffs on EVs, set to reach 35% by 2026. The goal pushed foreign automakers to build locally and source from Brazilian suppliers. Incentives reward companies that invest in domestic production and create jobs. The new rules aim to ensure Brazil isn't just a marketplace but a true player in the global EV industry. The stakes: jobs, technology, and the future of Brazilian manufacturing. The numbers tell the story. Chinese brands are surging in Brazil. BYD's models now top EV sales charts, sometimes outselling gasoline cars from legacy brands. Consumers love the tech, design, and value, sharing their experiences online and fueling word-of-mouth buzz. The competition is fierce. Legacy automakers are slashing prices, launching new EVs, and investing in electrification. The result is a faster, more innovative market with better choices for consumers. The Chinese surge is more than a trend. It's a fundamental shift in market power. All players are being forced to adapt, and the Brazilian consumer is the big winner. The future of Brazil's auto market is being rewritten in real time. The electric revolution is here, and it's got a Chinese accent. Brazil stands at a crossroads. Will it be a producer or just a consumer in the EV era? The government is pushing for deeper localization, battery plants, software, and local suppliers, not just assembly. Investments from BYD and GWM are promising, but challenges remain: bureaucracy, labor issues, and reliance on imported high-tech parts. Building a true local supply chain will take time and coordination. The benefits are clear: more jobs, cleaner cars, and a stronger industry. But risks remain: displacement of local firms and dependence on foreign technology. The choices made now will shape Brazil's industrial future for decades. The story isn't finished, but the transformation is already underway.